Sabina Park came alive yesterday evening as Monday Night Football in the Jamaica Premier League made a rip-roaring return after a 2-year break. Two of the league's hot teams, Arnett Gardens and Waterhouse, put on a show that was far more entertaining, swashbuckling and topsy-turvy than the 1-0 scoreline could ever communicate. Arnett's 1-0 win, courtesy of Kimani Arboin's first half strike, snapped a 14-game winless run against Waterhouse that stretched across 5 Premier League seasons. We have highlights.
Joining us, you've missed a really cracking game. The only thing it didn't have was something we didn't want. No injuries, no serious injuries, but blood spilled for the cause by some players. We saw quality on show, quality play, quality touch, quality goalkeeping, good refereeing, and we saw this goal that will be finished by Kimani Arboin. Ronaldo Cephas off at the races, crosses at the back post for Arboin, sprinting in to turn into the goal. First half strike, Arnett Gardens went in front. It was a lead. They didn't relinquish. Long pass from Keita Simpson, beautiful first touch from Javon James, and Eric Edwards, the important block. Then Cephas again, the cross, big this time to Arboin, lays it on a plate for the captain Romeo Guthrie on his weaker left side. Couldn't find the finish. Benbow to Keita Simpson, brilliant save from Eric Edwards, and then off the line clearance by Gerald Neal. Not the only off the line clearance for the evening. Another angle of it, excellent save by Edwards, and his defenders finishing the job for him. Then Arboin must score for 2-0. He misses everything, holding his head in disbelief. Kimani Arboin. Then Denardo Thomas, difficult on the half volley, couldn't find the target. And then Beadle, well, Kimani Campbell in, Earl Simpson knocks it behind, and this is Guthrie to Ajuma Johnson. Look at this frost, beautiful, and Earl Simpson can't get it on target. Glancing header, couldn't find it. Lovely flick by Thomas. Beadle's cross. Look at this for a cross. Into the zone, and Andre Leslie can't direct his header goalwards. They have even come off his back. Shoulder. And then look at this. This the moment of the game. Lovely skill by Ronaldo Cephas, and he bursts the net with that shot. Ended up into the back of the net. But it was through the side. And look at the ball bursting the net. If you've never seen that before, you're welcome. Bradford getting up for that header. Off his back. And Christopher Mason calling time. Breathless game. Let's look at the statistics. "19 shots overall. There were 3 on target, 2 for Arnett Gardens. 26 fouls, 16 committed by Arnett Gardens. There were 2 yellow cards, both to Arnett Gardens men. 2 offside calls against Arnett Gardens they were. 8 corners, 5 to Arnett Gardens. 2 saves apiece, and 54% possession to Arnett Gardens.
Wow. Director of Professional Football Jamaica Limited, Donovan White, joins us to reflect on what was the best ever night from a crowd support perspective in the short life of this Jamaica Premier League. Still applicable to describe it as nascent, the competition. Donovan, good afternoon, welcome back.
Good afternoon, George, and good to be on your show as usual.
First of all, let's talk to you as the Waterhouse chairman. How does it feel to be the chairman under whose watch Arnett has broken the winless spell against Waterhouse?
Well, it's been the same for 5 or 6 years when they couldn't get a win by us. So I have to give credit where credit was due. Last night's game was a humdinger by any measure. It's probably easy to probably say it's probably one of the best games, if not the best games we've seen in the Premier League for a couple of years now. And I think the 1-0, I don't think was a fair result for the quality of the game displayed by both teams. I think both teams deserved a point, but credit to Arnett for getting all three. I think they, at the end of the day, they deserve it because they scored the all-important goal. It was great for the fans. The support last night was absolutely phenomenal. We had almost more than a half-filled North stand. We had a full party stand with people spilling over into the George Headley stand, and we had a full Kingston Cricket Club stand. So the people came out, they felt the pulse, they felt the energy, I believe, of what was expected, and the players delivered more than they ever could.
Yeah, Donovan, there are some things, of course, I'm privy to behind the scenes that it wouldn't be fair to introduce into the questioning here, but here's what I'll do, because a lot of the fans who saw last night, who experienced the atmosphere, a lot of the club administrators as well, would be saying, well, you know, we want this at our home ground on a Monday night, we want to be able to have this experience, but there are particular and peculiar challenges, Donovan, that is constraining the PFJL at this minute?
Well, you know, we work in collaboration with the Jamaica Football Federation. At the end of the day, we don't own the tournament, the JFF does. We are the entity that is responsible for the development and commercialization of the league itself. And so we play our role in that respect. I know as we speak, there are active discussions happening between ourselves and JFF Competitions Department to see how best we can find a happy medium that brings some amount of sense and relative sense to how we go forward in relation to scheduling and use of venues. You know, I think we maintain, and I think the JFF is in support of us maintaining, that we should play the Jamaica Premier League on the best surfaces and in the best venues in the country. And if that happens to be, you know, a club venue of one of the clubs or several of the clubs in the Premier League, then so shall it be. But I believe that we're going to make every attempt and continue to make every attempt to ensure that the picture, the quality, the delight that the spectators had last night, and that your viewers on SportsMax and those on our other broadcast partner channels saw last night, can be replicated and can be maintained and sustained throughout the Premier League, so that we become known for a certain standard and quality, and we want to maintain it as best as we possibly can.
Donovan, it must be exciting though, at the base level, in the time that you and your colleagues have been working to promote this Jamaica Premier League. We all know you started during COVID times. Hell, we're still in COVID times, but a different phase. But it must be an exciting prospect to finally be able to open the throttle on the full promotion of this competition.
Yeah, and absolutely. And that last night was more of us, I suppose, testing the water to see how well the patrons would respond, one. But two, demonstrating that, you know, football is still the most popular sport in Jamaica and probably across the world. It is still the spectator sport. It is still the most exciting sport that really brings people together in a unified kind of way. Just to see, you know, the two rivaling fan base last night of Arnett Gardens and Waterhouse sit together, drag together, you know, share jokes together, laugh together, cheer together, you know, competed against each other, because the rivalry of words have always been a strong part of the fan experience, the stan experience of the Jamaica Premier League. And we had a very good affair, very peaceful people. When the game was finished, the Waterhouse fans took their loss, not happy about it, disappointed, but they understood that the league is still young. We're still only at the end of the first round. We have a whole second round to play starting next weekend, and I think that the competition and the spirit in which it was displayed last night and has been displayed for the last 11 weeks augurs well for what you as broadcasters and our fans and the viewers out there can continue to expect from the Jamaica Premier League going forward.
And on the strength of what we witnessed and participated in on Monday, with the benefit of the word of mouth dissemination of what those who are inside Sabina Park are able to tell to those who weren't there, you would expect, a reasonable man or woman would expect, Donovan, that you'd be confident at the PFJL that you can better what you showed us on Monday in terms of fan support and giving the fans the experience to invite them to that would be worth their while.
Absolutely. The quality of the show that we can put on as a league was never in doubt. What we have remained bridled because of the restrictions that obviously have been placed on us because of COVID. As you've seen over the last 3 weeks that we have quietly stepped up the pace of the promotion of the invitation to the spectators to come out to the games. I think we were blessed with the placement of the fixture last night as an opportunity to really rev the throttle a little bit to see exactly how the fan would respond. They responded in kind and they came out in numbers. They came out in their colours, and it just demonstrates that if you have a good product and you promote it and people know about it, and you make it exciting enough that they want to participate in it, that they will pay good money to see it. And it's not just football, it's just about anything you do. If you do it well and you become known for a quality offering, people spend their money to acquire it. And that's the leverage that we believe we're on the cusp of, that we are continuing to shoulder forward. Last night we premiered a new sponsor in the league. Campari came on board as our party stand partners, and that only happened because the opportunity of creating a party stand became a reality, and they saw the opportunity, they jumped at it, they took it on, and they had a whale of a time with a very packed party stand last night at Sabina Park. We believe that there are more opportunities like that out there in the corporate world, where the corporate partners are looking at what we're doing with this television product, because that's what it is. It's a broadcast-made Jamaica Premier League, and we believe that will give strength and create demand amongst the marketers who have budget and want an opportunity to put their product in front of consumers, and we want to continue to do that and open opportunities for ourselves.
Well, I'll say this to you, Donovan, as we part, that COVID was declared a pandemic March 12, 2020 by the World Health Organization. Between that time and now, the event you and your colleagues put on at Sabina Park on Monday night, I would say is the second biggest behind the Shensia Alpha album launch party. Now, he even came on as Park, and we would know because Lance and myself spent enough time at Cayman as Park to be able to speak authoritatively. We've had big crowds there within the restrictions, but we've had nothing like what we saw at Sabina Park on Monday night, and no other sporting event, of course, has come even close. So you are rivaling that Shensia party for the biggest event in these COVID times, and you've promised that with the restrictions being further relaxed, you can do better. We're looking forward, Donovan White, to enjoying the better that you've promised must come.
Well, we are certainly happy to play second to Shensia for the time being, but obviously we're going to probably try and maybe invite her with our management to come out to one of our Monday night showing, and maybe then we'll be able to equal or surpass her brilliance at the Alpha launch that she had 2 weeks ago.
Excellent, sir. Good stuff. All the best. We'll talk again.
Absolutely. Anytime.
Good. Donovan White there wears many hats. He is the chairman of Waterhouse Football Club, and substantively also he is a director of Professional Football Jamaica Limited. Lance, as I was telling a friend, yes, everything great and good was inside Sabina Park last night, except the great El Whitaker. What happened to
you? I wasn't on duty last night, George, but I'm very sorry that I wasn't there, to be honest, because a Waterhouse Arnett Gardens clash, as we all know, has always been epic. And the unblemished record that Waterhouse has boasted over Arnett Gardens for several years now is something that they were very proud of. And for Arnett to snap that drought of wins against Waterhouse would be a euphoric feeling for the Arnett Gardens fans, especially, George, coming at a time when Arnett Gardens is going through a rebirth. 10 games undefeated now, Arnett Gardens. It's been a long time that Arnett hasn't had that kind of unbeaten run. In fact, not since the 2017 season. It's been that Arnett has gone 10 games undefeated. And I think the Arnett Gardens fans are harboring thoughts of a championship title this year, which for the past 3 or 4 seasons, George, has looked quite beyond them.
Yeah, and Donovan said something about the feeling of the Waterhouse supporters as they left Sabina Park on the losing end. Let me tell you, it was well, not quite unique, but it was a rare thing. Losing a game that you saw your team play very well in. There's not one Waterhouse supporter who would leave believing that team not playing a ball last night. No, it could have been 4-4, it could have been 5-5.
Yeah.
How it finished 1-0, only the Almighty knows.
Yeah.
But Waterhouse gave as good as they got.
Yes.
And they were just unlucky in the end. Arnett Gardens, I think, deserved the 3 points on balance. But were Waterhouse to get a share of the points, I wouldn't have felt it was an unfair result. And if the match had finished 6-all lands, it would have been in keeping with the run of the ball in the game.
Yeah, you know what? Although Portmore has been champions 2 of the last 4 seasons in Premier League football in Jamaica, George, you have to concede that Waterhouse, for consistency, has been the most prominent team in Jamaica Premier League football. They were beaten finalists 3 seasons in a row. 2018, 2019, there was no 2020 season because it was aborted, and 2021. And in the aborted season, they were regular season leaders. They were leaders. So Waterhouse, I think their fans, George, are going to be very disappointed if they don't win this year, because they have gone so close, and in the aborted season they were on top, that they feel that it's about time now that they break the drought. I don't think they've won a title since 2006, Waterhouse. So based on their consistency and their prominence in the Jamaica Premier League, Waterhouse fans have every right to think that this is going to be their year. But I can tell you, Arnett, when they are hot, they are hard to stop. And you don't want to underestimate other teams like, Cavalier and Mount Pleasant and so on. Dunbeholden, who are the current leaders. Dunbeholden, very, very impressive. This season is shaping up, George, to be one for history to record. And I'm really anxious to see how the second half of the season goes, because there's a lot of the regular season left.
I was trying to explain to someone that a part of the allure of Arnett Gardens and Waterhouse is that you'll have people from parts of the island where there is a Premier League team, who will of course support that Premier League team.
Yes.
But that supporter has their second team is Arnett Gardens.
Yes.
And in the same way that Arnett Gardens' national fan base lines developed by being the second team of other people who had a Premier League team in their vicinity, Waterhouse is now developing that reputation as the second favorite team. So the teams have huge followings outside their community. The country just loves Arnett Gardens, and the country is falling in love with Waterhouse in the same way.
Absolutely correct.
Yep. Back with more. Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching SportsMax on YouTube. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and to click the notification bell to stay informed.